Hi, so here's a few videos, or the first one of a few videos going through the exam questions I set for today. They might be completely redundant because you seem pretty good at the travelling salesperson already, but just in case anyone's stuck, I thought I'd make them. So the first question says to use Kruskal's algorithm on this network to find a minimum spanning tree. So pause the video if you haven't done that already and have a go, remembering that Kruskal's is the one where you choose the shortest edge and then you choose the next shortest edge that doesn't connect it to one that's already connected, and so on, and you end up with a minimum spanning tree. So we'd start with GH and then we'd go for GF and then so on. Okay, so pause the video and if you unpause it, I'll go through the answer. Okay, so I'm going to go over mine in green, so hopefully you'll be able to see that. So the first one I select is GH, and it specifically said in the question that they wanted us to write down the order in which we selected them. So GH is 38. The next one would be GF. And the next one is CA. And the next one is EC. Hopefully I'm not going to muck this up on this one. Then FE. And then DC. And then DC. So I don't think there were actually any that we had to miss out there. Because they were already connected. If I add that up, which I don't think it asked us to do, but it's always the next thing to do, really. So they add up to 403. Okay, great. Part B then says to use your answer to part A to find an initial upper bound. So the initial upper bound is the one where we double the weight of the minimum spanning tree. So the initial upper bound is 2 times 403, so 806. Sorry, I disappeared then because my cat brought a wasp in and was trying to eat it. So the next part of the question says to make shortcuts to try and shorten the to lessen the initial upper bound to get it below 630. So looking for shortcuts at the moment, it's this kind of bit here that looks like you could make a shortcut, and also this bit here. So here, if they were to go out C, E, F, G, H, they'd have to come all the way back and then go out to D and back. So it would make more sense for them to go out and then go round there. So they'd just be using that one there instead of going all the way back there. So to work out the that length, it'd be 38 plus 56. I'm just adding all of these up. Plus 61 plus 59 plus 64, and then it would be 511. So quickly do that on my calculator. Probably not quickly. Probably typed something wrong. So that was 167. So far, 806. I've lessened it by 167. So I've got it down to 639. So not quite there. I need to make another shortcut. So the other shortcut would be here. So at the moment, they'd go up to A and then back down to 57 and then out to B and then back to C. So they could shorten it by going A, B, C. So because 102 is less than 57 plus 68. So adding in AB would be 57 plus 68 minus 102. So that saves us 23. So altogether, put it down to 616. So that's we've met the criteria. So the question said get it below 630. Okay, so they are our shortcuts. That one there and that one there. Okay, so the next part of the question, part D, this question really does go through everything, says to use the nearest neighbour algorithm, starting from B, and use that to find a second upper bound. So if I do that in a different colour, if I do that in red, so starting from B, the nearest neighbour is C. If I write the root over here, then hopefully you'll be able to see both things. So starting from B, going to C, and then going up to A. That's the next nearest one. And then from A, the next nearest one that's not already connected is E. And then that one's already connected, so it takes us to F. And then that one takes us to G. And then that one takes us to H. And then that one takes us down to D. And then joining it back up to the start using the shortest is that one there. So if I add those all together, I get 597. So it would be a good idea in the exam to write out all of the lengths you're adding together, just so if you get it wrong, they can see what you've done. Okay, almost there. Part E says to delete C and all of its arcs. So I should really draw this out again, but I'm not going to. So I'm just going to scribble out all of the ones going from C. Use that to find a lower bound. So I'm going to use crystals again. So if I do this in like a brown yellow, hopefully it will look slightly different. So the shortest arc, that one there. then that one there, then that one, then I feel like I've missed one. Oh no, I haven't. Then 89, and then 98, and 102. So we've got our minimum spanning tree there, and then we need to join C back in using the two shortest edges that join to C. So it's that one there and that one there. So we would end up with one that looks like this. Okay, obviously it's not the neatest. So my minimum spanning tree here, all of these ones add up to 444, and then plus the 59 and 57 makes 560. So that's my lower bound. Okay, and then the last part of the question says to write, I can't remember how they phrase it because I can't see the question now, but it's writing an inequality to represent the optimal solution. So we want our biggest possible lower bound. The only one we found is that. So it's going to be that, and that's not a viable solution. So we don't need to have the equal to sign on that one. But our lowest possible upper bound that we found was 597, and that was a viable solution. So because it was a Hamiltonian cycle. So there's our inequality. So that's that question done. Obviously you wouldn't do it all on the same diagram in the exam because you'd have the answer booklet and it would be a bit easier, a bit more clearly laid out. But great. Okay, if you probably didn't need to watch that. If you do still feel a bit stuck, then I'll do videos for the other two questions as well. And you can always email me if you need any help.